Hello there, Internet. Today is Wednesday, October the 29th. It should have been Tuesday, October the 28th, but it turns out the camera that I was using to record this video decided to skip the audio in some places, and it was just a nightmare trying to record things. So I'm doing it again one day late, but at least I'm kind of semi-rehearsed. I'm going to do two videos today. The first one is just a quick little update on what's been going on. Literally nothing's been going on. That's why there's been no videos. There's been releases, there's been new products coming out, there's been things going on, but really nothing worth talking about. And I know some of you people are saying, or have said to me, hey, just do regular life. I feel weird doing that. It's just unusual. So, on that note, something has come up as of late, and I'll tell you about it. I've done a video on my phones before. As many of you know, like I am an Android, I would say geek. I am a geek, that's for sure, but not specifically an Android or an iPhone geek. I like cell phones, I like technology. And my first cell phone, my first smartphone anyways, was an iPhone 3G when it came out, oh geez, at least 4 or 5 years ago. And I remember seeing that thing and like, holy crap, this is awesome, it's amazing. And I basically worked it to death. To the point where I think when one of the updates came out, I think for the 4 or the 4S, one of those two, when the update came out and I applied the update to the 3G, it basically just toasted the phone. It was just unusable and slow. So I figured at that point it was time to get a new phone, and I ventured into the wide world of Android. My first Android phone was the Sony Xperia Z, and it was a great phone. It's fantastic, it was beautiful, but it had a problem of overheating and causing the phone to reset and reboot, and it was just a pain in the ass. It would freeze sometimes. I actually sent it out to get repaired 3 different times, and each time it just didn't fix a problem. So I got rid of that phone, and on my birthday I bought my first of the Galaxy line. And we're all familiar with the Samsung Galaxies. This was the Galaxy S. And it was a good phone. It's a nice phone. As you can tell, it's like small. It's about the same size as an iPhone. Here's by comparison. So this is an iPhone 4S, I do believe, and this is the first Galaxy phone, one of the first ones, anyways. And I like this phone because of its size. It was thin. It is very thin, actually, and it also had expandable memory. It had 8 gigabytes of storage inside. And you can go up to 32 with the card you could stick on the inside as well. So I really like that. This phone primarily, now it's about 4 years old, is basically just a media player for movies for my daughter on long car trips. It still works. It's stuck in Android 2.2, and more on that later. Actually, I'll tell you about it now. One of the things that put me off of this phone in particular was the fact that I couldn't upgrade it. Samsung, puts out great phones, but at the same time, when they put a product out, they only support it for like 6 months to a year at the most. And then they say, that's it, like we're moving on. So this phone had come out, I've had it for about a year, the new version of Android came out, and they said, no, we're not going to update this, we're going to focus on other products. And I didn't like that I was stuck using old technology on something I really liked. I hated that. So when the opportunity came, I went out and I bought a Nexus phone. And for those of you who don't know, a Nexus phone is basically just plain vanilla Android. Stock is what they call it, stock Android. It is the operating system, bare bones, no bells, no whistles. A lot of cell phone makers like LG, Samsung, I think Nokia as well, they'll put the Android on here, but what they'll do is they'll add their own extra touches, their own camera app, their own gallery app, their own integration to make the phone uniquely theirs. So it's a selling feature. Say my phone's better than their phone because we have features that they don't have. Whereas if you're running stock Android, everybody has those features. So I didn't like that. And the Nexus phone was just pure Android, and I got that and I liked it, and it was about the same size, so it was fit in your pocket really nicely. And I used that for about a year, and then the Nexus, I do believe it was the Nexus S came out, which is when phones started getting a little longer. The Nexus S was shaped similar to this, flat, but had a bump on the bottom here for the camera, for all the work to put in, not the work, the lens work and all that, yeah. And that was stock Android as well. Like that was a good phone. I have since given that phone away to my sister-in-law because she just needed a good phone. She's stuck using my my old Motorola Razr, which was a great phone, but the batteries, you just can't get those anymore. And then a year later, the Nexus 4 came out, which I gotta say was my first foray into good high-end phones. And this is the Nexus 4. And the good thing, this just was a really good looking phone. Here in comparison is the Samsung Galaxy, and in comparison the iPhone 4S. And this was just a really, really good phone. I liked it. It was plain vanilla Android, able to upgrade it. You can still upgrade this now, actually. You can't buy it anymore, but you can still upgrade it. One of the good things about it, let me just take it out of the case. It was a solid, heavy phone, so you knew where it was all the time. It wasn't a huge phone, but it was heavy, and it had this nice glass back. You can actually, nice little reflection there. You can see outside. There we go. There's a tree up there. There we go. There's the tree. So it had a nice little glass back with the Nexus logo on there. Made by LG, so it was very good, very nicely manufactured, and just good all-round phone. And then again, another year came out, and of course the Nexus 5 came out. And of course the Nexus 5, being the way phones are getting larger for some reason. They're not going smaller. The Nexus 5 is a little bit thinner than the 4. Had a nice matte, smooth, silky finish on the back there with the Nexus logo. And we got that right, yeah, right side up. Made by LG as well, so the specs are pretty much the same. And the good thing about these phones, both stock Android, and they were both cheap. You could buy, I think both of these, like this one was like 300 bucks, this one was 350, off contract, and mine right away. And because it was off contract, as well as not locked to any carrier, I could take this to any carrier I wanted and pop in a SIM card and boom, I'm ready to go. In fact, these two phones, one of these two phones anyways, I use for traveling. I've taken them to the States, I've bought a SIM card, and I almost always use T-Mobile because I've been with them before. Buy a SIM card, pop it in, and now I've got an American phone that doesn't cost me a fortune in roaming charges when I'm trying to make long distance calls or do data or anything like that. It's well worth the money you spend on like a pay-as-you-go plan as opposed to paying through the nose for roaming charges. And if you've ever gotten roaming charges, you know exactly how much those can be. And that's where I was up until about a week and a half ago. And then I picked up this baby. I'm going to take this one out of the case. The OnePlus. And this is a beast of a phone. I will not lie. Battery life on the Nexus 4, it was decent, maybe 12, 16 hours regular use. Battery life on the Nexus 5, I would say maybe 8 to 10 hours regular use. I'm a heavy user, everything's turned on, I'm always reading news, watching videos, things like that. Battery life on this, holy crap. When I received this, they said go ahead and charge it fully and let it drain fully a couple times in order to basically train the battery. And so I did that. I got it on a Tuesday, charged it by around Tuesday at 5 o'clock. I did not have to plug this thing in again until Thursday at night. Like 2 full days of battery usage, regular usage out of this thing. And it is a huge phone. The Nexus 5 is the largest phone I've had. Like, look at this thing. Like that is huge. Get my face in focus. There we go, all the way over here. Like that is just absolutely ginormous. And at first I thought I wasn't going to be able to use this properly. It is a little bit larger. It feels weird at first, but once you get used to it, it's nice having like a much larger phone. I was going to get the Nexus 6. It had just been announced, but I thought like it's actually larger than this, believe it or not. And I thought to myself, no, I'm actually not going to get a Nexus 6. But then you ask, Dave, what about that issue with software upgrades that you were talking about? The OnePlus runs a modified software called CyanogenMod, which is constantly being updated. This is version CyanogenMod 11, specifically for this. And essentially, it's basically a community of hackers that have modified Google's stock operating system to be something better. And I thought, well, it's not stock, I'm never going to be able to upgrade. Well, the thing is, these guys upgrade nightly. Every single day there's a new build you can update and release, provided you're willing to take the risk. And then what they do is like every month or so, they release a ROM that is 100% functional, it's safe. Like you can actually go ahead and flash it and you're good to go. So I had no issues with being stuck in old technology because these guys were going to support it for like a much longer time than most companies would. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not like an Android fanboy. Like I do have an iPhone, the iPhone 4S, and I use it mostly for like just testing the web pages for Illusionist on it. I gotta say, holy crap, how do you guys see web pages on these things? I was testing the Illusionist site and like, oh my god, like they're so freaking tiny. Like how do you see anything? It's brutal. I just can't get over how small that is. So, but it's a good phone. Apple makes good phones, I'm not going to lie. Like, they're good, high-quality phones. They do exactly what you want it to. I just want more from my phone. And The camera in this was okay. You know, I have a kid, so I'm taking pictures all the time. The camera at 5 megapixels in this one. I think it was 8 megapixels in this one, 13 megapixels in this one with a 5 megapixel front camera. So basically I wanted to upgrade. I was looking for a better camera phone as well. I could just take my camera and take pictures, but nobody takes camera pictures anymore. It's all cell phone. Like nobody takes... I could spend $1,500 on a good camera and take amazing pictures, but never have it with me when that moment happens. And I'm sure you guys know exactly what I'm saying. It's like, oh, look at that beautiful whatever. Click. It's on your cell phone. And we've had Instagram and Vine and all those Snapchats. It's just, you know, cameras, like the high-end cameras, like retail cameras, they're a dying breed. People are using their cell phones more. But yeah, so like I have no issues with the Apple. Like I like the Apple. It's just too expensive. It's way too expensive, and it's not really my phone. I can't do what I want with it. I can't change the keyboard or change the operating system or do whatever. Like Apple basically says, you do anything with this phone that we don't tell you to, you know, your contract's void. So like that's that. Like I'm not going to bash on them or anything like that. It's still, like I said, it is a good phone. I just don't see the value of spending money on something where I can get comparable value, comparable product for better value. And then as far as cases go, I love the cases that I got. It's by a company called Rareth, and these are called the Ring Key Fusion cases. And they're basically polycarbonate cases with backs, rubber sides. Fusions are better examples. And so you can actually see, like the, you know, especially with the Nexus 4, like that nice background. It's beautiful. So that's basically, you know, where I am with my cell phone. I love the feel of this. It's a 64 gigabyte phone. It stores way more than I'll ever need it to. I'm basically like a big Dropbox and Google Docs user, so everything's like online for me anyways. It's fast, it's responsive, it's got way more settings than stock Android ever would. Let's get rid of that email so you can't see what's going on. And like the bells and whistles are just fantastic in this. And now that Android 5, the Lollipop version, has come out, these guys have said they're going to upgrade like this version of software to Lollipop, so everything looks the same with all the additional bells and features that regular version of Android does not have. So there's just that in a nutshell. So yeah, phones. My inner nerd coming out. Though I will say, I really do like this case for the iPhone. I've broken it, unfortunately. Because the iPhones, like they were the same. They were always the same. Basically, the 3s were the same, the 4s were the same, the 5s were the same, so on. The cases, you could get some really cool cases because the people who made the cases were guaranteed to make money. Whereas like these cases, you got to really hunt to find a good Android case because of the fact that the cases are just, you know, there's so many Android phones out there that I'm not going to spend all my money, like, you know, targeting a niche market when I could target a huge market. So I understand that, but man, this, I gotta love, like if you have an iPhone 4 or 5, you gotta pick up these cases. They're sweet. I don't think Illusionist is making them for the 6, which is unfortunate. I just wish I had one for my Android. I'm not gonna lie. So you guys have a good day. I will talk to you in a few minutes when I talk about some products that I received as well. Bye.